All right. Y'all see the recent polls? Rasmussen, Kamala up 5. Very curious how long that lasts. From what it's looking like, she's gonna be the president of the United States. And for some reason, Negroes keep on saying, "Oh, Democrat shield. Oh, you intangible." I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all can't see through this obvious foolishness. If y'all can't see through the ops, bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Because these people be definitely ops, bro. Be definitely ops. Brother, look at she not black though, brother. She Indian, brother. She Indian, brother. She Indian. Brother, she says she Indian and then she says she black, brother. What do we do with that, man? What do we do with that, man? She got a white boys for Harris. What do we do with that, man? How are we going to vote for that, man? Lord in heaven. Y'all still not getting it. Still not getting it. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna live my life. That's what I've decided to do. Just live my life. Let people be stupid if they want to be stupid. And go about it. Most of the people saying these things don't vote anyway, so, and they have no plan to vote. So, what does it matter? That's what you have to ask yourself. What does it matter? Valorant? Bro, Valorant has that much of a following? That's insane. That's insane. Clash of Clans. Anime season? Bro, are they really... Oh, god dang, that's loud. Are they really making a killing on these little mobile games? Is that what you're telling me? They're making a killing on these mobile games like that? Bro, 4 million views? Over what? This? 4 million views on this, fam. This is not even good animation. Anime season? Oh my god, bro. I gotta make a game or something. A mobile game, apparently that's where it's at. This is insane. Absolutely insane, bro. What is going on in this planet? What is going on? Sausage Lord says, but Lucas, I thought the Republicans didn't care about race. I don't see color. Man, you already know that. You already know how it is, bro. You already know how these fools are. Just lying through the teeth. To the teeth, bruh. To the teeth. People are some people still saying Kamala Harris isn't black? Is that where are we still at that point in time? Are we still at that point in time? People screaming and hollering. She not black though. She Indian. She not black though. Look at she Indian. Damn, 3 years ago. I gotta get back into that shape. Gotta get back into that shape. She not black though. She Indian. Kamala Indian. Let's see how many stupid videos we can find. She not black though. She Indian. Oh, is this what they're talking about? I saw a clip of something with this chick. I don't know who she is. She's the...
I don't want to suffer the consequences of our future president not liking my Indian food.
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I've never made dosas.
4 years ago. What is this?
Oh my god, you do have a taste. Just, oh my, you have no idea. This is how
my mother kept all of her stuff.
This is so funny. I told my dad, I was like bringing over the stuff from the store. He's like, obviously, I put them in Taster's Choice.
But this literally was how my mother kept all of this stuff.
That's so
would have
funny.
to think, what is that?
Okay. That's how her mother kept all of her stuff. That's cute. But what's phase 2? There is no phase 2, Frederick. It's Kamala not black. Get reparations. What? I think we're missing part of the plan. Lucas, the plan is to delineate. All right. Call everyone else out. Say Kamala isn't black, and then we get reparations. I'm not sure if that's a good plan. So we're gonna ostracize ourselves. We're gonna alienate from everyone else, right? Like, even if they want to be an ally, no, you're not. And then we're gonna somehow get reparations from that. Yes, that's the plan, Lucas. That is the plan. Okay, all right. I'm just surprised that people are so. It's not even naive, honestly. It's not even naive, bro. Because there comes a point in time where naivete, I can understand. This is just butt fucking retarded. Sorry. For lack of better words, this is just retardation. Hearing people say some of the stupid stuff. She's a chameleon. Who gives a fuck? Y'all, I don't know. Do we have to bring out the whiteboard? We just started the stream. Do we have to bring out the whiteboard? Huh? He a chameleon, Lucas. I don't give a fuck if she's a crocodile, bro. What is so hard with y'all? Why are y'all so hard-headed? I don't understand. Why are y'all retarded? Let's say she's Indian, bro. Full-blown Indian. Fuck the black father. Fuck all that. She's like both parents Indian, bro. She just straight. She got a dot in her head. Tee-hee. I'm Indian. Okay? But she's running as a black woman. Is my mic low? I don't know. Maybe I need to bring it closer to me. Maybe that's better. She Indian, right? Tee-hee. I'm black. Hee-hee-hee. I'm black. How does this affect you as a black person? How does this affect you? Let's run this through. Negro, nigget, black woman, black man, you're at your home right now. How does this affect you as a black person? She's running for the president of the United States. How does this affect you? She's black. How did Rachel Dolezal affect you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Let's say we have a fucking crocodile, right? And he like, hey, I'm black. I'm black. Okay. Now what? Now what? Let's go. We actually have an Asian person. She's not even Indian. Let's say we have an Asian, right? Asian person. Huh? I'm black. All running for president, right? All running for president. Now, what is one factor that we give a fuck about? What's one thing that we care about? One thing we care about is what? Say it's a black agenda. That is it. That's fucking it. That is literally fucking it. The problems we have in our communities, the problem we have in our neighborhoods, how are you going to, as far as are you willing to pass any bills if they come across your desk? What are you going to be an advocate for? What is the goal? Now, she's already said she's pro reparations. That's a long path, but that's a good fucking start. Pro reparations, right? Now what? The others are, I don't know, for fucking nothing, right? I don't know, BLM flag, and I don't know, ice cream. Free chocolate ice cream for Negroes. Now, does it matter if the person is Indian, a crocodile, or fucking Asian? Let's say they were all for reparations. Let's break it down. They're all for, hey, I'm for reparations. I'm for reparations. I'm for reparations, right? Because that's first on the docket. It's first on the docket, but it's a long journey. It's a long journey, right? Then we have qualified immunity. We'll just see qualified immunity. Qualified immunity. Now, let me get this straight. All you black, high IQ, FBA, ADOS, whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves, all you high IQ people, right? You're telling me that Lucas, they're not black. I'm not going to vote for them. But they have a black agenda and they're for reparations, they're for Indian qualified immunity. They're for the things that you want, right? They're not black. I'm not voting for them. Does that make any fucking sense to you? If it does, you may want to check yourself for fucking mental retardation. You may want to go see a doctor and see if you are actually like autistic, have Down syndrome. I don't know all the fucking things are on on the spectrum. I don't know. Because there's a high chance that you're fucking retarded. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me be clear. There is nothing wrong with you being fucking retarded. Nothing wrong. Okay? Nothing wrong. But look at, she not black, she Indian. But look at, he not black, he a crocodile. But look at, he not black, he Asian. How does that impact what they are running for? Huh? If they're running for black, they're saying that they're black. Wouldn't that give you more leverage? Do y'all know how leverage works? Let's do the scales of justice. I'm trying to think what the scales of justice look like. It's like, right? Leverage. She's saying she's black. Okay, so what does that mean? If you're gonna say you're black, that means you're gonna have to have some type of incentive for black people, right? You're gonna want to talk to black people. You're gonna want to see what's going on. And black people should definitely use that to their advantage. Right? Right? She said she's for reparations. Now, Negroes, I love, what I've noticed is that you have these goofballs who are on YouTube, on Twitter. They haven't done anything for the collective. Like, they have no desire to do anything for the collective, okay? Those are two different things. They haven't done anything, and nor do they have any desire. Their whole purpose is to extract from the collective. That's their whole purpose. Their whole purpose is to get you dumb fucks to fund their lifestyle. That's their whole purpose, okay? They don't live anywhere near black people. They don't care about black people. They ain't with black people. That's the whole purpose, is to extract money out of you to fund their lifestyle. That's it, okay? That is it. Anyone telling you, hey, go sit on the couch, how does that get you, right? Because the goal everyone wants to talk about is reparations. That's not a short goal, right? That's not going to happen in a few months. It's not how that's going to work. So we have short-term and long-term goals. So if it's reparations or nothing, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. That is going to be tough. But you already have a candidate who already said that, hey, I'm for reparations. I'm for reparations. They've done all of this stuff. I'm for reparations. Now, y'all know those people who, no matter what you say, they're going to find some error or fault in whatever it is. You can say, hey, I'm for reparations, and they say, well, she didn't say she's for cash payment. She can come out and say, I'm for cash payments. Well, she didn't say how much. She can come out and say how much she is for cash payments for reparations. Well, she didn't give a timeline. It could be whenever. Those people are not fucking serious. They're not serious. All she did was say it. Nigga, you are about to be banned. That's what's about to happen. What do you expect the bitch to do? All due respect, Kamala. What do you expect her to do? Is she president right now? Huh? What are you talking about? Am I missing something? Because either way, you goofballs are going to flame her. You want to know why? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because many of you are just fucking Republicans in disguise. That's what many of y'all are, and trying to claim like you pro-black. Y'all are fucking Republicans in disguise. Republicans in disguise. That's what the fuck you are, okay? And if that's the case, then just say that. And then we know to dismiss what the fuck is coming out of your mouth, right? Simple. We know to dismiss what the fuck is coming out of your mouth. Got you. Understand. All right? But one thing you have to understand is that whatever happens from here to November, mofos who want to hate are going to hate. If she does come out with a bill, hey, I want to get reparations, how the fuck do you think it's going to pass? Huh? Do you know what the numbers are in Congress? As far as in the Senate? Do you know what the numbers are? So guess what they're going to say? Well, she just doing this to get the black vote. You already know that's what they're going to say. She's just doing it to get the black vote. And then when the bill doesn't pass, right? It doesn't pass. Guess what they're going to say? Well, she passed it because she knew it wasn't going to pass. She put it in there because she knew it wasn't going to pass. That's what they're going to say. So you give me a way where you can get this bill for reparations through Congress and it passes. By all means, let me know. Because when people talk like this, they clearly don't know what the fuck government is or how it works. Because no matter what happens, these are the two options that these goofy Negroes are going to say. Well, they're just pandering to get the black vote. No fucking shit, dumbass. Duh. Of course. Just as Trump is pandering to get the white vote, all right? Of course, that's how that works. It's called fucking politics. Duh. So, I'm tired of hearing these Republicans in disguise try to make these false arguments. I don't know what to tell you. Because all the mofos telling you, hey, sit out, don't vote. Guess what they're going to be doing all during out the administration? Well, why don't she don't do that? Why does she do this? Man, she not doing that. Man, why does she do this? And it's like, well, A, you didn't vote. And B, you can't ask anything of her. You didn't vote. Now, the people who voted for her can be like, yo, listen, you promised us this. You promised us that. When is this going to happen? What's going on here? How can we assist you? So I don't know what's I don't know what's wrong with people who just don't understand. Sin Nickel 9 says MJ warned us decades ago that they just don't care about us. We might as well just get the bleach cream and lip surgery. Listen, they don't need to care about you. Here's what you need to understand. Listen. Come here. I'm gonna give you a little secret, right? So let's say this was slavery, right? Chattel slavery. Put a C in front of it. This was all niggas. All black people. This was the white population. So they managed to control all of these people. All of these people. One thing you have to understand, it's not about whether or not they care about us, because you don't need all. right? You need the right ones. That's it. What do I care if the janitor doesn't like me? If the CEO does? What do I care, right? If the gardener doesn't like me, if the CEO does, or the security likes me, or the receptionist likes me. What you have to understand is that you're going to have to build some allies. Despite what FBA, ADOS, and all the rest of these dumb Negroes constantly keep talking about, delineate and everything. Because they love saying delineate, but when you ask them, okay, right, delineate, then we move forward. What's after that? Then what? Then what? Delineate, then what? Reparations. Wait, what? You're missing delineate, right? Fuck everybody else. Then what? Reparations. Okay, reparations, got you. How many people in Congress do you know? Nobody. Okay, got you. How many people in Congress are even favorable to the bill that you're going to propose? Wait, what bill? So you have no bill. Tangibles. No, I hear you. You guys actually fucking talk like Joe Biden, which is crazy. Y'all actually talk like Joe Biden, which is fucking crazy. Delineate. Okay. We black American tangibles. What? The fuck are you talking about? Vote for the couch. Couch 2024. Reparations. The fuck you talk? How you gonna say couch 2024 and then say reparations? How's that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Some of y'all talk like that. And it just doesn't make, like, it's like you guys are in a cult. That's what it seems like. Because there's definitely little cultish, like little cultish cliques on the left or independent or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. And that's how they think. They can't think for themselves. I'm like, okay, bet. So after we delineate, right? FBA, ADOS, got you. Now, how do we get these reparations? Well, the Asians got it, so we did it. Okay. We know the Asians got it, but how do we get it? We're not like them. We've never been treated like them. So how does that happen for us? Tangibles. No, I get that. What's the game plan? Like, what are we doing? Pocket watching. What? Pocket? What the fuck does pocket watching have to do? Wait, I'm saying, how do we get there? This is the stupidity that we're listening to. Lucas, you are not being realistic. Then call in and let me know how I'm not being realistic. I'm all ears, bro. Let me make sure the phone lines are on. How is that not being realistic? She's already said she's for reparations. I already told you that she was going to be going to black outlets and being pressed. You want to know what our chance was at getting Kamala Harris? You want to know what our chance was? Then NABJ, bro. That was our chance. And you want to know what I saw in the comments under that video or the live stream? A bunch of black people tell me, Lucas, what are you talking about? She roasted him. Go look at the video. You'll see look at the comments yourself. Lucas, what are you talking about? Man, man, they tore him up. How does that help us? Man, what are you talking about? They exposed him. Okay. How does that help us though? What did you learn from that NABJ meeting that you didn't already know or suspect? What did we get out of that? Man, we got to expose Trump. Expose Trump to who? To you? Were you a Trumper before this conference? No. Do you think the MAGAs are now no longer going to vote for Trump because of this conference? No. Then who did he get exposed to? Well, he got exposed. That's all that matters. They got him good. This is what I'm talking about. We got foolishness on the left and we got foolishness on the right. The point of that meeting was to get resources out of the man, was to get promises out of the man, was to get what he was going to do that was going to primarily and predominantly assist the black communities and the black collective. That's what that was about. Boulay runs the Democratic Party. Listen, Boulay runs everything. I don't know why you think that the Boulay can stop you. I'm just confused. This is where I'm confused, right? The Boulay, right? This is like Negroes fucking boogeyman. This is like Jews to white people. Look at the Boulay. Sir, if you can't do anything because of the Boulay, then fuck it. Then stop complaining. First off, stop talking about your ancestors because you're shaming them. The Boulay. Okay, then stop complaining about white supremacy. What you've done is you've bent the knee. Say you've bent the knee and the Boulay just controls the Democrat Party and done and done. That's all. If that's because what you have is end of road. That's it. There's nowhere else to go from there. That's what you have to understand. There's nowhere else to go from here. That is it. That's the end of the road. End of the road. Well, there's nothing we can do. That's what it was. Okay, then that's end of the road, and enjoy learning Spanish and Mandarin. Simple as that. Simple as that. But like I said, if you think that's the last network or the last event that he'll have, I mean, maybe it is, but we screwed our chances with that. But I don't know why people aren't investing in Trump in the first place. You're wasting your fucking time and energy with Trump. Your best bet is to go with Kamala right now. She is likely to win the election.
What's up, Lucas? What's good with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Still alive.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, I'm listening to everything you saying, man. I agree with everything you saying, man. Kamala's not gonna be able to get nothing done for black people. Period. She doesn't have to get anything done for us. If Barack didn't have to get anything done for us, she's not gonna have to get anything done for us. We missed.
She will if we use our voice, if we use our numbers, just like every other group has.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I agree with you, but the thing about it, we can't come together. Everybody's in disagreement. They got the men, they got a gender war going on in our community. The men want to go one way, the women want to go another way. You got half the people want to sit on the couch. You got half the people who are just talking out of the side of their neck, just looking, want to get I got you moments or just want to be emotional and not really trying to, nail anybody down on what exactly the plan is. A list of demands that they should meet, just like Dr. Claude Anderson used to talk about. If we vote as a block and make demands and make them deliver on those demands. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all we could do. I mean, if you wanna relegate yourself just being at the mercy of a government, which I don't think that we have to do that. We can do a lot of things on our own. But it would help. I mean, I hear people talking about reparation. Reparation is good. I would like reparation in the form of land and cash payments. Because, you give somebody a bunch of cash, you don't have a plan with it, they're just going to get all the money back and then some. Because you're just going to put it right back in their hands and wind up owing them interest on the money that they gave you. Because you're going to go out and just buy something stupid or, don't have a plan with it. But we need land and cash payments. That's what I feel. It just seems like everything you're saying is right, man. But how exactly do we get this done, in your opinion?
Well, there's already people who are already coming together. You had a whole bunch of black women who came together when it came to that call, and I forgot, they got like 300 million or something like that. So
They raised $300 million.
yeah, she's already raised like a few hundred million already, like 391 million in 1 month, I believe.
Okay.
So we just have to
And that
find.
money just
Go for
go
it.
ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, we just have to find those people who have the power to mobilize and organize, because we can definitely do it.
Right. So how do you feel about this? I think we talked about going and revitalizing the cities like somewhere like Detroit, even down here in Atlanta where I'm at. We had a lot of automobile industry. We had a lot of factories down here that are no longer here. I think because of the the NAFTA the trade agreement that Clinton signed back in the 1990s or whatever, bringing some of those industries back, and also maybe what I would like to see happen. There's a lot of land that is undeveloped. You know what I mean? And I believe I would like to see some of that land wind up in the hands of black people, and have black people develop that land. Bring automobile industry there, build a city. Why not? You know what I mean? Because right now, I'm tired of seeing young black men. That only thing they doing right now is running up and down the basketball court, playing football, and on the phone. Man, they can't build anything, man. They can't freaking even work a hammer. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's something about when you learn how to build something, you have a vision. You know what I mean? Because if I build this, I can build something else. And building is very important, man. And that's what we need. I want to see land. I want to see bulldozers. I want to see heavy equipment. I want to see, things that you can actually build with and build a community with, and have black people run it. You know what I'm saying? And build our own infrastructure, our own power, utility companies, water treatment plants, things that we need. And it's a lot. I know it's a lot. I know it's easier said than done. I understand they did good raising the money, but it's like, yeah, it's cool to get policies and stuff. But at the end of the day, policies is a piece of paper, man. I want to see some brick, and I want to see some mortar, and I want to see some land. I want to see some acreage, and some dollars, if that makes sense.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, but keep doing what you're doing, man. I agree with everything that you're saying, man. Like, it's outstanding how we can come together on something and raise money so quick. But then, like, something that, like, I think Dr. Claude Anderson was been in the courts for years, pushing this reparation thing for 20, 30, 40 years, and nobody really got behind him, trying to give him money to do what he needs to do. This is something he's been doing for years.
Yeah.
So now, all of a sudden, maybe somebody can pick up the work that he's done and actually run with it. I mean, the things that they did to the blacks is basically war crimes. You know what I'm saying? And there's nobody that paid anything. And these people need to be held accountable for what they done to black people, kidnapping. I mean, that's freaking war crimes. The goddamn Geneva Convention, man. These are freaking war crimes, and nobody's been held accountable. Everybody just keep giving us lip service and not really doing anything, man. And I don't know how the heck we just got to get on all the same page, man, and just agree, and maybe come together as a block and get some things done around here.
Yeah.
So, but that's my call, Lucas.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate the call. Yeah, I just don't know. That's the only thing. I just don't. I don't know. Because I'm curious who organized like the calls with Kamala Harris. But the thing is, everything happens surrounding or revolving around a person. That's how that works. Everything revolves around a person or some type of a movement. There has to be something to get people out. And when it comes to those people who, the black women who are helping Kamala, what do they call it? An anchor being, right? In the movie, the anchor being was Kamala. So I think we need an anchor being for black people, because I think what many people have gotten too comfortable with, it's just fucking talking, bro. It's just saying, reparations. I'm like, if 843, you're on the line. What's
Hey,
it?
what's good? I spoke to you, I'd say about maybe 2 months ago, maybe, and I've been listening, so I just want to give you a lot of respect. Sad life again. But I'm going to disagree with the brother that called last time because I feel as if I heard him last call before this, maybe not last call, yesterday, and, you let him get some shine, and he had a little bit of knowledge, and he was speaking for like, maybe a good 7 minutes while you were eating. And, some of it was good, but some of it wasn't, like tonight, because I disagree with, with as far as trying to, get someone else to give us land. Now, it's just like points, right? So I consider it like points. And, maybe some of these credit cards might want to give you points, but cash back is always the truth, in my opinion, because if you get cash, then you can get your land, or you can do whatever you want to do with it because it's cash, right? And I know cash might not mean a lot later on, but if we don't believe in ourselves to be able to handle some cash, then what can we believe in ourselves with? We can handle some cash, right? I hope so. I hope we can handle and get those businesses that we want to, or maybe start that hospital with some cash. I mean, because we need options, right? We don't need someone giving us some land, possibly wherever they want to give it to us, right? Because we can give a dog some food where we want to give them the food. We want to give it to them in the backyard, right? Because we don't want them in the front yard. But the only thing I'm saying is that cash is always ruled because you have options. That's why I disagree with the brother. I know he had a little little bit of knowledge the other day, and that was real good and real cute. But it's another day, and we got to really think, because cash will get you. Cash always has a little bit of a head start because you have more options with cash. You can get your land with cash if you want that land, right?
Well, if
don't
they're
be
willing
trying
to
to say,
sell
hey,
that land.
one more time, Lucas.
If they're willing to sell that land.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But what I'm saying is that what's the difference if we all say, hey, we want candy bars, and we all get candy bars? That's real nice. We got candy bars because we all asked for candy bars. But what do we look like, little kids getting candy bars, when we can't handle some cash to get our own candy bars, Lucas? Let's keep it funky. I don't know how it went with the Japanese man. I don't know how it went with the Irish man. I'm not exactly sure how it went with the white man when they got their money, and I think land after they had to lose their slaves and they couldn't handle it, and they got their reparations. But I don't think it was that much of arguments over, hey, maybe we should give these guys or these ends, right? Give them a school or two. Maybe we should put it here in the community, which we'll never see. Maybe we should put it there and let them choose how they want to give us our reparations. We just need straight cash, in my opinion, because I believe in ourselves enough to be able to handle cash. If we can't handle cash, we can't handle anything. Why are we getting reparations? We don't trust each other enough to do what we're supposed to do. If we can't speak among each other and say, hey, everybody get land. Well, we're not strong enough to talk to everyone and say, hey, everyone get land with it. That's the same thing, right?
I mean, I'm for it, and also it's just, I feel without the education of how to invest, that cash is going to do nothing.
I agree to disagree with the last man, but I do think that we have to believe in each other enough to be able to handle a dollar or two. Now,
I don't believe it. I don't believe in the collective at all, because if we felt the way that you suggest, we would be in a different position already.
I agree with you, because we wouldn't even be really entertaining all this nonsense about the election, trying to figure out, who these birds are really voting for. Talking like they're really thinking about Trump and all this stuff. So you're right. I mean, I know I got a lot of faith, but the truth is
I
the
feel
truth,
like when
and
it comes to cash is great, but there's got to be some education around it. So if they're going to do cash, there has got to be like an investment program in order to relinquish the cash. There has to be something around it.
I agree, but
Because if it's not, everyone who knows how to spend the money or knows how to invest, that's going to help them. Everyone who doesn't, they're just going to end up blowing it in many cases. Or worse, making poor investments or being got by, people who are trying to exploit them.
Don't start that, Lucas. I like you. Don't start that because it'd be funky with you. It doesn't matter if it was in the form of a program or some land. They still get backed, right?
They still get what?
If you're a bird, you're going to get backed, right?
Sure, but we want to do everything in our... But here's the thing. The goal would be as a collective that we protect one another so that doesn't happen. So without that mindset, cash is just going to further divide. Because I'm going to get my money and say deuces. You're going to get your money and say deuces. And then maybe, possibly, there are some who are like going to go out of their way and be selfless and be like, hey, I want to build something. But I don't see, as far as black people getting a significant amount in that case, in that regard. It's not going to be millions. I don't see that happening, obviously. But I feel like there's going to have to be some coming together in order to actually have an impact. Just in case it's, let's say it's under 100K, or let's say it's 50K. 50K, you're not getting any fucking land. That's not happening. But if you were to team up with a group of people and you all put a bunch of money together, yes, you can get a property or whatnot.
I agree, and that's what you've been speaking of. But here's my thing. This is where it gets interesting because if we put it together, right? And you said that. And I listened to you, a little time ago, and you did kick some knowledge, speaking as far as, people might not know what to do with the cash. And I agree. But people don't know what to do with the gummy worms either, right? So who's to say that that's not going to? And remember,
well, the goal is to get us out of this situation when it comes to the wealth gap. That's the whole goal. Right? The whole point of reparations was to give them an opportunity to grow in such a foreign land. But they were only able to grow because they were together. So if you give us money and we're all divided, then we're still not going to grow. We're going to be in the same predicament.
No, I understand what you're saying, but did they give land to the Japanese, man, when they got their reparations, or did they get the cash and they're doing their thing now? Am I wrong?
They got the cash.
Exactly, and they're doing okay. Why can we not?
But because we're not Japanese. And we're not, they were not under the same attack that we were as a collective. They weren't poisoned. Their culture wasn't poisoned. They weren't taught to be as far as to view themselves in this light or that light. Their children weren't as far as, ravaged by police and whatnot. So it's a completely different circumstance.
I understand. I'm with you. And I know you've been entertaining me for a minute, and I do appreciate it. But I am going to say this while I do have you, because, sometimes when I listen to you, and it makes a lot of sense, and, we speak about, where these demons came from, and, we can't just let them have two hands open with a little bit of dog food, which they call land, and be happy with that and trust them on that.
Land is the only thing that matters, though. Because you can sell that land and get cash, right?
If you know where they came from, right? And you said the history. So how are we going to say that land might be something to benefit us? That'd be a damn lie. But I promise you this, if we had some cash and brought some land and we believed in ourselves to do what
the problem with having cash and buying some land is that you don't want to eat from the right hand.
That's the bottom
I
line.
hear
I
you, but the
won't
problem
argue
with
with you,
that is that if
but
you're
you
dealing
wanna
with these
go
group
ahead
of
and
people,
trust that?
they're going to raise the
Let's be
prices.
funky.
What's going to stop them from raising their prices? Or worse, or just saying they're not going to sell it to you. Because cash
I
is only
understand.
good if you have someone who's willing to sell you something.
But where's the land going to come from? So swap land in the back of South
Land is
Carolina
land.
or
It's not about the land. It's
something
about what
like
you
that?
do with that land.
Some of that land is so much money to turn it into regular land or decent land that some people are giving away.
By all means, go ahead, give it away. I don't know anybody who's giving away land. By all means, you let me know anyone who's giving away land. I'll take some land,
Well,
100%.
I mean, I'm not gonna get too hasty with it because I know you're gonna shut me down. But you see where I'm coming from. I'm just saying. So when we get to the swamp lands with all them trees, and we get to all that water, and we can't build nothing on it, and we got nothing but gators there, and it's gonna cost a brother over $30,000 to turn $20,000 worth of land into something we can build on. We have no chance anyway. But we can't trust them to give us decent land, can we? Not out of their hands, right? Because remember where they came from, right? And remember what we've been preaching, right? From where they came from, and the generations of it. So you think that out of their hands it's going to be cool? I seriously doubt that. I think we're better off with some cash.
I think if that's the case, I think, like I said, I think there should be.
I don't even trust the cash out of
There
their
should
hands.
be a
People
voucher
funky
then.
with it.
Then you can get cash. You have to go through a program to get cash, or you can get a voucher for the same amount or more, because that's what I would do. I would think they would probably do, hey, you can go through this program, get your 30K or 40K possibly, or you can get a voucher for, 100K for a land, for a piece of property.
I've been listening to you so much. Remember that brother who said he owed 18 stacks. Tell me you remember that. Was it earlier today, yesterday? You remember? You got a good
18
memory.
stacks?
He said he owed 18 stacks. He got it.
Oh, yeah.
One second he had 3 jobs. Next second he had 2. He's talking all that hot stuff, right? Right?
Yeah.
You remember that? So then now, Lucas, now I'm thinking, if this brother was so-called doing okay, owing over 18 stacks, and we got other brothers owing, child support or student loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Student loans, which that's one of the reasons why we're going for Biden, right? But nobody cares about that kind of stuff. But anyway, when it comes to the people that make sense, yeah, we want to get rid of that. And we do want it forgiven, right? Because we need forgiveness from them. But that's going to go first, right? So by the time we do get a little something, what are they going to do? Give us $2,000 worth of that piece of land because we owe 18 stacks like the brother out there acting like he's hurting? Or we owe the student loans? And they're like, all right, well, you owe $8,000 student loans or $12,000 child support. We're going to give you how much land out of that, right? But then when we get the cash, we'll be getting 2-3 stacks out of 20 or out of 30. And then, you get $3,000 because you owe this to the government, which I don't personally. But if this guy's story is true, it's time to start thinking. Because I don't know how to do the little piece of land off at that point. But that's more of us to speak to later.
Gotcha.
But I really enjoyed the time with you, brother. I spoke to you a couple of months ago, and I listened to you, so I appreciate it. You just keep it going. Please don't shit on me too hard when I hang up. I love you. I love
Appreciate it, man. Take care. Stay safe.
Brother.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't disagree. When it comes to the cash, I don't have an issue with cash at all. Like none whatsoever. What are we talking about? The problem is the whole point of reparations. The point of reparations was to put us on equal playing field, right? That was the whole point of reparations. Is that they had screwed the collective and they were like, hey, we gonna give you something so you can build your own shit. Because they were still on that separate but equal. They weren't even on separate but equal. They were still on, hey, you do you, we do us. Here's your little fucking land. Here's your 40 acres. Here's your mule, whatever you need. We're going to lend it out to you, loan it out to you. You do your own shit. As long as you stay away from us, we're cool. So, I think one of the worst things to happen is to take that reparations and then give it back to them. Right? Give it back to them. That's the only thing. I think what makes this work is that we work together. But that mindset, that habit has to be instilled before the check clears. That's why I was suggesting some type of program, right? Where you have to go to this program in order to release the funds. In order to get the funds released, you have to go to this program. That's what it'd have to do. You can do it remote. You can do it, at whatever it is, at a college or whatever it is. But you would have to go through this program in order to release the funds. 313, you're on the line. What's the disagreement?
It's really like not really a disagreement. It's more of like a I just wanted to talk to you because I noticed people were saying that Kamala Harris wasn't black, but I was just gonna say that, just because she isn't black doesn't mean you have to vote for her. You know what I'm saying? It's like we voted for Biden and he wasn't black, Like all these other presidents that came before Obama wasn't black and we still voted. So it's like I don't understand the problem with, because it's like Republicans always try to be racist and they try to be like, oh, she's not black, so you shouldn't vote for her because she's not one of you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, we're just voting for a politician and not by the color of her skin. We're voting for what she could do for us instead of like her skin color. I'm looking at it like she's a better candidate. To me, she's a better candidate because she's more sane. She's not insane. She's not going to probably blow us up. She's not friends with Putin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, that's why I'm going to vote for her. She's a better person to me, and she smiles and stuff. You never see Trump smile or anything like that, But I saw that National Black Journalist Convention, and the people that were asking Trump questions, they picked the wrong people, and they should have picked like some totally different people that actually cared about the black community, because I feel like they were asking questions off of a script or something like that, They weren't asking questions that pertain to black people. They only asked like 2 questions, They could have asked like 20 other questions, but yeah, man. And another reason why we should vote for Kamala Harris is because, she could, like, if we asked her for reparations, like, if we all, like, just asked her as a collective, or we all start protesting or something like that, when we ask for that, we might get it, because she's in office. But if Trump is in office, like, he's probably not going to care about it. He's probably not going to be like, he's probably going to be like, fuck you guys, Like, but, yeah, because it's like, you got to understand, like, what are the 2 people doing? What are they saying? When you ask Trump a question about policies, he always, like, runs over the question. It's like when you ask him about something like, are you going to be a dictator? Are you going to free the insurrectionists? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't answer the questions. Like, if it's a question that is negative or that is important, he doesn't want to answer it. And that's my problem with Trump, and it's like he's so secretive about what he wants to do, but at the same time he says it, like he says it, like he gives like good glimpses of what he's trying to do. Like he said, if you vote for me, you'll never vote again, like that's crazy. And he said he was gonna give police immunity and make sure that they could do their job. But they already have like not like they don't have federal immunity, but they already have some type of immunity, you know. So it's like they're already killing black people. So it's like, what do you want them to do? Just break into black people's houses and kill them or something like that? Like, you know, it's just it's just crazy, man. And it's, you know, but another thing you said, like reparations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, like, if we all get reparations or something like that, we should like literally, like, some of us should like buy land and then start like put businesses on that land, like start building businesses and stuff, just like the old, because like the thing you ever heard of the Black Wall Street? Like they did that a long time ago. They made the Black Wall Street, and then they had like all these businesses for black people, all like they were just wealthy black people. And then what happened was the white mob came in and they stormed in and they blew up a lot of buildings. They blew up a lot of houses. They blew up, like, you know, it was like it was called the Tulsa Race Massacre, and they just blew up a lot of stuff. You could look this stuff up, and that's another thing. Like, we gotta watch out. I know. If we get our own land and stuff, and we make our own businesses, and we start all over, and we start getting rich and stuff, we gotta watch out for these white people. I know this might sound, you know, crazy, but we still gotta watch out for them. And even if they give us land, like the guy said, like they could give us land in the middle of a swamp with nothing. What are we gonna do with that land? Like, if it's just like, if the environment, if we can't, they can give us a land in the desert, in the middle of no, you know what I'm saying, and in Nevada, in the hottest area, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you don't know where they're gonna give us our land. So it's like, if we pick our land, if we hand pick our land ourselves, that would be a really, 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 I think it would be really better for us, because we know what land we're going to. It's not like they're just gonna give us something, because you don't, but you know, you never know, they might just give us some land, you know, it might not be a swamp or anything like that. But if it was that case though, yeah, we would have to figure out what to do, how we're gonna build something on a swamp, because how are you gonna build a city?
I don't disagree, but someone super chatted to go on to the next call. But I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, bro. I don't have an issue with the whole land thing, to be honest with you. I mean, because there are black farmers, so I don't know. I just feel like I don't think they'll give us just land, right? Just here's a plot of land. I don't think that'll happen. If they do, that'd be great. Give us I wouldn't mind taking a casino like the Native Americans. Absolutely, by all means. 100%. So I don't have an issue with that. My guess is it would probably be like a voucher. That would be my guess. Some type of voucher. That's what I would be thinking. But I think we're counting our chickens before they hatch. I think anybody considering, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to think about the future and what you're going to want. And what's needed. But I think many people are just counting their chickens before they hatch a little bit. Just a little bit, bro. Just a little bit, bro. So, like I said, I don't have an issue with any of that. Of you people going, well, I think this is what should happen. I think this is what. Absolutely, 100%. But I think before we start looking towards that, perhaps we should maybe get behind a candidate. Wouldn't that make a little bit more sense? I don't know, call me crazy. Wouldn't that make more sense? Right? Before we start talking about, well, this is how it should work, this is how this should work, yada, yada, yada. I'm just like, I hear you. I hear you. But you're going to need someone to even talk to and negotiate. You're going to need someone to talk to. And you'll want somebody in her corner saying, hey, what about this? What about that? She said this was a really good burger. Oh, damn, this looks like a really good burger. Hold on 1 second. Back to what I was saying. Think we need to get someone in the White House first. I think we need to get someone in the White House first so we can press them. That's all. I don't think that's an issue. I don't know. That's how I see stuff happening. So if you have someone who's at least mentioned it, and you have another person who hasn't said a word about it, my guess is you'd probably go with the person who mentioned it. 404. What's the disagreement?
Someone called back, brother. I called about 10-15 minutes ago. I'm the guy that owed $18,000 in taxes. Good news, I don't owe that anymore. My wife paid it. I didn't even know she paid it. So thank God for that. I didn't even know it was gone.
Damn.
But yeah, I know I left it. Would you pay? Oh shit, I paid that the other day because they sent somebody was gonna garnish our wages. So I just went ahead and paid it. I said, okay, cool. I didn't even know you paid it. But Lucas, everything you're saying is right, but how they shown us that they can get things done quick, fast, and in a hurry when they all want to do it. I mean, they sent hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, and they've never wanted to do anything for black people. So I don't know why people are acting like, well, you did it here. Yeah. If you feed your baby and someone else's baby is starving, like, why don't you feed my baby? Well, because it's your baby.
Yeah, so I mean, all this, everything. Yeah, we got. Yeah, I agree. You got to get a candidate in office, but they done all that. They didn't have a candidate in office. You know, Israel didn't have a candidate in office.
Oh, everyone who's in office is a candidate for Israel. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you're right. That's screwed up on that. Yeah, but like I say, I mean, they showed us when they want to do something, they can get it done very quickly. And they can get it passed. And they didn't ask me about it, and they didn't ask you about it. They just did it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like they can do it. They just don't want to do it. You know. I think they want to keep us in this position right here. This, subservient position on purpose, just so they can come talk to us every 4 years and give us the same.
Well, I don't think it's honestly them keeping us in this position. I think it's us. Yeah, as of right now, it's not even them because they don't have to do anything right now.
Right.
Because there is no mobilizing or organizing. So they don't need to, bomb the block, right? They don't need agents. Exactly. Agents in what? Y'all have no organization. Y'all aren't taking anything serious when it comes to politics. So there's no reason for COINTELPRO or anything to infiltrate because there's nothing to infiltrate right now.
So how do we get to a point where we can get past all the niggerdom? We can all collectively come together because I think right now one of the biggest things is everybody's trying to look at this reparation thing that it's something for them. It's not for you. It is for your kids' kids. You plant.
That's not going to happen. That's what I'm saying.
The shade.
Even with reparations happening, it's not going to have a significant impact on the collective. I don't believe so, because that mindset isn't present. So that mindset just doesn't grow, overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. Habits, are developed over time. And we don't have habits of, building and grouping and organizing and mobilizing together, then it's not going to happen when you have money. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't get it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you get it. It's just not going to fix the problem you think it's going to fix. Many people are thinking as an individual, well, it can fix this problem of mine. But as an individual, once that money runs out, unless you can invest it, you're going to be right back where you were. And then worse, you're not going to have anyone to even borrow money from. Great thing about rich people is that rich people borrow money from other rich people. But if everyone in your social circle is broke, then who you gonna go to and like, yo, let me hold, a few racks? Yeah, I don't have a few racks to let you hold.
And I agree. Everything you said is spot on 100%. But like you said, a lot of those people, they got the cash payment. All they're gonna do is pay their bills. They're gonna get out of bed. They didn't do anything with it. They just paid their bills. You know what I'm saying? So now another thing is, I heard a lot of the callers saying, well, they give us swamp land. We ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it. Bull crap. I've seen people, goddamn Walt Disney, they freaking drained the swamp and built the goddamn amusement park. I've seen people drain whole bodies of water and build things on top of it. So, that's a weak mindset. You're gonna let a body of water stop you from building something? Get rid of the water and build on top of it. That's the mindset. I mean, I've been in construction my whole life. I've been around $1 billion projects my whole life. I know how these people get stuff done, man. And the good thing about building, while you in the process, you learn something. And that's what the problem is. We're not building anything. When you're not building anything, you're not learning anything. And you don't have a vision. Building gives you vision. And it's important to build. Everything that you see around you has been built by somebody. If you build it over here, you can build it over there. And then you get a system together and then you duplicate it and go do it somewhere else. Until you have a community and start worrying about yourself and start worrying about the generations coming, behind you, so they can prosper by what you built, leave a legacy. But right now, we just have such a microwave mentality. Oh, if it ain't gonna benefit me, then I don't want nothing to do about it. But dude, you're 60 years old. It's not gonna benefit you because you only got about 10 years left on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna benefit you. It could benefit your kids, your grandkids. And it's, like you said, it's a mindset and a mentality. And until we get that mindset and mentality, first of all, we can trust each other. Trust somebody. Everybody can't be in charge. We have no problem working for the white people. We do exactly what they say, but we have a problem working for each other. Everybody wants to be the leader for some reason. Or they go, oh, well, you make more money than me. We can't see the big picture. I think sometimes we fail to see the big picture. And if we can get together and get a think tank and really, not somebody that's going to try to cheat us or trying to swindle the money from us, but really come up with a concrete plan, something tangible, and get the right candidate who's really going to deliver our demands, then I think that's a step in the right direction. It may not happen in my generation, but it could benefit my grandkids. If that makes sense to you.
No, I agree. But no one's thinking like that.
I ain't gonna hold your show up, brother, but hey man, you keep doing what you're doing, man. You preaching the truth, man, out here. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the Lord's work, brother. We gotta wake them up one person at a time, man. And just gotta remember that we can build, we can cultivate, building and cultivating. Like you said, the farmers. One thing about it, when they came for your land, they always came for black people's land. When they don't want you to have that land, they trick you out of it. They let you know that the land is where the wealth is. I mean, friggin', some people got oil on their land. They wanted that land because they had oil on it. I mean, it's a lot of land that's out there that's uncharted territory, and I think that's the direction that we need to head in.
I think that reparations should be
money.
The end of what we ask for. Because one thing we need to attack as far as the medical debt, because that's where a lot of people go bankrupt, the student loan debt, so that you're not using whatever resources they give you from reparations to pay off that debt, to pay off things that you've accumulated over time. So I think that's what we should be fighting for leading up to reparations, so that when reparations you get it, you have a clean slate. You don't have to worry about, oh man, this is going to help me pay for the bills, it's going to help me pay for that. No. Now you have this money to invest or do as you see fit. because that's how they're going to get you.
Right.
They're going to drain your account based off, debt that you've incurred over time.
That's a good point. That's a great point. And like you said earlier, you said education. A lot of people say, well, they should give black people these contracts, these big, huge government contracts, but they're not in the position to take those contracts because they don't have the manpower, or they don't have the loan, or they can't get a bond, or they don't have the resume to say, hey, I can handle $1 billion project. All that comes over time.
But also, they're not even advertising. That's the thing. They're not even marketing and promoting many of these opportunities to the community. So in many cases, it's a small select few that know about it and keep it between themselves when it comes to these government contracts or anything else.
100%, brother. Hey, man, keep dropping them gems, brother, and keep dropping the science, man. I enjoy your show, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it, man. Take care. Stay safe. Yeah, I think that's what many people need to be thinking about. Because there's no point in having your reparations being used on anything else except to empower you. If you're using your reparations to pay off medical debt, then how is that reparations, bro? I think that's a hustle. That's going to lead you right back to square one. That's where that's going to lead you. If you have, medical debt, which is majority, like I said, the majority of people, when it comes to bankruptcy, when it comes to the debt, you got that. When you got your student loan debt, when you got your bills or anything else, any other debt, you're going to use reparations to pay this down, and that down. And then what are you going to have left? You're not going to have anything left. Maybe have, a couple dollars left to maybe go on a trip or something, if you want to do that. So I'd rather focus, let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of that. Now give me the monies. Absolutely. Now let's get that monies. Reparations would get taxed, right? I don't know why they would be taxed. That would be insane. 708. What's the disagreement?
Mr. Anderson. You're seeing the bigger picture. Even with the win, we still lose. They're going to use it as a huge loan payout. Congratulations. You made it out of the first matrix, sir. You're on to the second matrix. A whole nother level, a whole nother devil.
What's the second matrix?
How do we get there? Now we see the second layer is the hustle within the reparations. It's another ball game. And notice we're not even near the first ball game. Getting reparations.
I mean, it's good to think ahead.
No, nigga. Not in this case. It's too far ahead. You're losing people. You're in algebra. We don't know what 1 + 1 is.
I think many people know what's 1 + 1. I think we just need someone that the people trust to promote that.
What about Megan Thee Stallion? She's doing amazing right now, right?
Yeah, I don't have any issue with Megan Thee Stallion.
I mean, I think she'd be a perfect candidate for everyone to, get behind. She could be the icon, the face of it. Would that be okay?
I think, entertainers are going to be entertainers. The problem with that is that I don't know anyone's going to take a hard stance or position on anything because it'll impact their pockets. And they're not really for the collective, so I think they'll be swayed very easily. Just as we saw with Kyle Rittenhouse.
I think people got to realize that if you're gonna be a political icon, you're a Batman, Gotham loves him at a certain time and Gotham hates him at a certain time. I'm surprised he didn't see that coming. But how would you go about filtering to find the guy or the girl?
I don't know. There's many people who already have the ear of the community. I just feel like we should Bribe them, do what you have to. I don't know. But here's the thing: who's going to bribe them? How are you going to bribe them if you have no capital? Unless you create your own.
I just don't think that's possible.
Absolutely, I definitely think it's possible. You can definitely create your own influencer who's a celebrity and make them into something.
And maybe a couple years ago I would have said yeah, but now it seems very fickle. Like even the Destiny thing was very crazy how he got banned almost immediately. You know, like, so I mean, maybe a couple of years ago I would agree, but now it's just like any differing opinion that kind of breaks through both sides and calls it out, it gets snapped immediately. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they get silenced very quickly. And I'm surprised, out of all the things Destiny has ever said, there's probably other examples that I could use for other people, but that was what got him off of, you know what I'm saying? That's what got him offline? That take?
What was that take?
That got him banned off of Kick and demonetized off of Twitch?
Yeah.
Do you want the actual quote? I forgot the actual quote, but it was regarding, I want to say, wasn't it regarding Trump with the shooting?
Oh,
I could have sworn it was regarding that. Huh?
Was it? No, I thought it was no, you're right. It was Trump with the shooting. He was making jokes about it.
I mean, yeah, I feel like he said way worse things, you know? Not only that, but I'm pretty sure.
Said fuck the firefighter? Yeah. Where he made what, I think it was like, Biden. I see Kamala Harris +1. Fucking hilarious.
He said way worse things. And that's what got him banned? Do you know, on your channel we've seen worse things. Like from him. You do realize that, right? The dude who has child porn didn't get banned.
Yeah.
What was a couple months ago, earlier in the year, he got exposed for that. He's still online. So I agree with your strategies. The issue is not in today's world, dude. Like, it's weird how someone isn't banned for child porn, but someone who, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a rough take by joke by Destiny, but it's nowhere near, like, first off from his own standards, and then second off from everyone around him. I don't understand, man. And I mean, so in today's mainstream climate for social media, how can someone even push through if they can be silenced almost immediately? And then it's the wild, wild west. You don't know what take is going to take you out. You don't know if it's the take you said yesterday, which was relatively tame, or the take that you said today, which is extremely crazy.
I think you can play the field and not get yeeted. Because there's plenty of people who have managed to acquire influence.
I think maybe if it was to go a certain way, that person would have to be on different platforms and not their own. A person I've seen perfect that is Charleston White.
Mm-hmm.
He's perfected that type of way of jumping around different platforms. Not what he says, but his technique and how he filters, how he swims through social media. So I guess someone could do that, maybe.
Yeah.
They will not be able to have their own platform, but maybe go on different other people's platforms. But I think on Twitch, you won't be able to do that. But mind you, I don't think Twitch will be the end-all be-all for someone who wants to do something like that. Where, on Twitch, if you're banned, you can't go on other people's streams. They'll get banned too, or timed out or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the only alarm with that. But do you think people are able to find that judge of character?
What do you mean find that judge of character?
Let me rephrase that. The magical Moses that we're hunting for.
You find or you either create it.
Which one is harder?
Which one is harder? I would think finding it. I would think creating, especially nowadays, can absolutely be done.
What? I don't know. I think it would have to be someone maybe middle-aged. The younger generation's done. They're cooked, dude.
Oh, you think the younger generation is done?
100%. My generation and below is done. They're cooked. Mentally, they're not there.
Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Like, what do you mean they're done?
Like, first off, I don't think the focus on the correct thing is being emphasized. If that makes sense. Like, most of my generation does not care about politics.
The younger generation doesn't care for politics?
Not authentic politics. Like, they'll listen to Hassan. You get what I'm saying? Like, the garbage, weird streaming takes, but not actually dig into it. It's more surface level, superficial, political garbage.
So they're not politically active at all, is what you're saying?
I would say on a superficial level, not like actually trying to, like, they'll watch Destiny and Hassan or play.
So you don't
like
think
that.
they vote or anything?
I think they do. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't think they are politically savvy and their information on politics to have the correct outlook on how they should go about the political landscape. If you get what I'm saying. They're very caption surface level, lacking kind of critical thinking. If you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
so
you.
It's not that they don't act. It's like someone, like, they're active, but they don't really know what the ins and outs of what's going on is actually. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't know the mechanics of the politics. They're just doing stuff. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's.
But
one.
we can't use that to our advantage? I don't understand.
Not necessarily as impactful. Not really. I mean, if we had a large media push, everything's relying on media push and information push in today's what's going on right now. So when we have people that are in control and have the ropes of media and gets filtered, their information gets filtered, it's kind of hard to manipulate that, or not even manipulate, push a different narrative, because our mic isn't as loud as the other people's mic, you know? And it could happen. I could see it happening, but it won't be as big as, you know, it'll probably be some person on YouTube or Twitch or something. I don't think, you know, the typical avenues. So not necessarily someone in politics, but maybe, you know, a third party, like outside of politics that revolves around politics. I could see that, but not really. Like who? No. Like even if I was to pick, like who would they listen to now?
I don't know.
People don't have the filtering skills.
You don't think a Gen Zer could actually just start a podcast of his own and gain influence?
They can, but the issue is, what is his topics? Who is he talking to, or she? It would go back to the back to square one. Is who's saying what? How are they saying it? Do they even have? Is their head in the right space? Pause. You know, to be able to filter through the information and properly relay that information without bias being an issue. And that person would have to fork over, you know, clicks and views and monetization for the sake of, you know, staying savvy and correct in the political landscape. That check is pretty big. I'm sure 2015 Lucas, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He had more weight on him because the check was probably big. And so I see how that ruined you. Like, you know, I see you pissed off like, these niggas, I traded so much for these niggas. I see it. You know what I'm saying? Do you think someone my age or younger is gonna trade that off like that?
No.
Exactly. Thank you. Come on. You know what I'm saying? They already have they're trying to rope in certain younger demographics anyways. Bill Shapiro has what's her face? Like two different people, Brett Cooper and the black girl, the Aniqua Akifa or something. The African lady. So I mean, there a lot of politicians, the Young Turks, kind of set up Hassan in a way. So some of these already established news media outlets already adopted the younger generation to resume the same narratives, resume the same avenues of information. So now instead of the Young Turks, we have Hassan. Maybe they might differentiate off of certain political points, positions, but they're the same thing. Brett Cooper and the something. They are just Ben Shapiro, but the next generation. They're just passing the torch for the same stuff. They're just the reruns of the same niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think so.
So then I just don't understand what where does that lead us?
Just back to how politics work. For this train in America is only going to stop two ways: implosion via self-destruction, or explosion via outside enemy. It's supposed to be a loop. That's it. This is a loop. That's all it is. It's just.
And where do you see that leaving black people?
I already say we're cooked. Like, either we stay. I guess it's no. It's just no. What I would say is see how racially ambiguous you are, and then match yourself up with the country that has a similar face to you, and learn their language, my nigga. I already got my escape plan. I could pick Dominican, flat iron my hand. I'm Native American now, nigga. Let's see. In Indian, I get a little red dot, little neck wobble. I'm straight over there. I might be Arabic. Mess around, get the white thing around my head. I'm cool. Like I already got the escape plan. You know what I'm saying? Salam alaikum. Wallahi, I'm good whoever. You know what I mean? I'm cool.
So
still there?
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
I know you got a 5 head, so I would say you probably good like any African. You probably got a whole black card pass in anywhere Africa. They think big heads are wealthy people.
So you think this election is meaningless then?
In the grand scheme of things, yes. I think this America is just one, it's just, yeah, it is. In the grand scheme of things, yes. It's like, how, this is what it is, right? Have you ever been like to an acting class or you seen like theater kids?
Yeah.
You ever see a herd of theater kids?
What about them?
All right, so you know how they practice in the script, right? And they might deviate from it for a small couple lines. They might improv, but then they go back on script.
Yeah.
That's just America. So yeah, like we might deviate a little bit with this law over here, this law over there. We might improv it, but then we're gonna go back to the script. That's all it is.
I mean, is that a bad thing if deviating leaves us in a better position than when we started?
It could be a temporary good thing, but it depends on how far the deviation is. So we can't change the whole. If it changes the whole plot, we can't do it. So reparations would change the whole plot. We can't deviate off to reparations unless we do something like you said, where they're gonna try to hold you in some form or fashion by just making this a huge payoff, payback, for like loans and stuff, payoff. You know what I mean? So I don't think so.
You think
But right now, like,
they'll do reparations as a loan? That would be insane, sir.
as a like no as a loan payoff, like you said.
I don't understand. Oh, okay, loan pay. Got you.
Yeah, that or they try to do something tax wise with it. But no, I don't think there is no way out of this really without some form of destruction happening. It's like we're really what it is we're in a bear trap already. The injuries dire, right? So it's like we would almost be better losing the leg, as crazy as that would sound, than trying to keep the leg and bleed out more.
What does losing the leg look like? I don't even understand.
Some form of financial deprivation further than what's happening right now. It would be backlash if we were to act in some form or fashion as civil war, and if that makes sense. So, for example, financial terrorism.
So all out destruction.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm trying to say. But sorry to go off onto my Alex Jones type beat. Back to square one, like what you were talking about earlier. Yeah, there's no actual who is a good voice right now for Gen Z?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I would say at best, he sound like he's scared. No, why would I be scared? I knew he was gonna say Civil War. Then why didn't you type it earlier, dipstick? Anyways, AOC. Did someone just say AOC is a voice for? We don't have one. Oh, I think okay. That's actually a good one. Actually, AOC would be probably one of the biggest voices for Gen Z politically. As crazy as that might sound. She's been rather silent a couple years, but AOC would probably be the biggest one that I've seen. Kind of, what was the dude that sat down and became a meme? The old man. It looked like Up. He's like the old man from Up. He was the independent or whatever.
Old man became a meme. No idea.
He laid down. He was sitting on a Benny.
You mean Bernie Sanders?
Is that his name? That's. He had a little push with the memes, but that was like, no. Gen Z loved him for the meme, but that was it. So no, we don't have anyone politically. I'll tell you right now, it's nobody. Hold on.
Lordy. Goodness gracious. Wow, that's slightly depressing. But Yowzers, bruh. So also, what's Bernie Sanders got to do with the whole thing? He was talking about who's really reaching out to Gen Z. That Gen Z is really politically, dumb for the most part. What is going on with Philip Scott, bro? Is this his wife? Is his? I'm not gonna say that. What's happening? Can someone tell me what's happening? This man is like constantly on with with Republicans and stuff. And I'm just like, what is all this COINTELPRO that's going on? That's what it seems like. I just don't know why all these channels are just anti Kamala. Instead of being anti Kamala, wouldn't you want to see if you can get something from Kamala? I just don't I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. 929. What's the disagreement?
Yeah, what's up, bro? Well, the disagreement is that how could anybody think that this lady is gonna give us anything, man?
Well, she already spoke as far as in favor of reparations, so there's that.
She spoke, bro. She spoke like everybody else spoke before, man.
Well, that's all that happens pre-election, right?
Yes.
So why are we trying to downplay that? Because I'm unaware as far as Trump speaking favorably
so
of reparations.
Okay, so without downplaying it, she spoke about it. Okay, now it's like you always say, it's up to the people who vote her in. Once she gets in, now it's up to us if we press her on it or if we just leave it alone and just be happy that we have the first female black president, supposedly. Like, which one you think people is like? We're talking about people, bro. We're talking about people, bro. We're talking about people who's worshiping, who's stuck in indoctrination from schools, from religions, celebrities. You got people who will kill you over their own fucking favorite celebrity, bro. like, come on, man. Like, so to be realistic and think that, okay, we're gonna all vote on the premise of, all right, we're gonna press her as soon as she's in. She gets in, a few people press her. Of course, it's not gonna be enough because, like, everybody agrees, right? Nobody's for the collective. So it's like, this shit is just laughable to me, man. Like, all this energy that we always give into who's racist or who's for us, what president is this, we could be putting that energy into demolishing that whole fucking system. Why are we even still playing this system? Like, that's just the part that I don't understand. Why will we still compete in this system? Like, how many times we gonna have to? How many more years? Another 4 years. They show us nobody.
Wait, so what's your plan for demolishing the system?
They show us nobody is for us. Like,
what's the plan for demolishing the system, and what are you going to replace the system with?
Obviously, all of that comes within. That comes within the time of if we actually do it. I'm sure, the same people who come up with that.
Well, wouldn't you want to, as far as know what you're going to replace it with before you go out of your way to destroy the system?
Well, I'd rather us risk doing that than just keep at where we're at right now, man. Like, wouldn't we want it? Let's just go out with a fucking bang. Like, I don't get it. Why would we sit here and just keep on waiting for somebody? Let's just go out with a fucking bang.
Well, I don't think anyone's waiting for anything. I think
Donald Trump don't give a fuck about us. He cares about the Jews. Kamala don't care about us. They care about the Jews, bro. That's all the first thing they say. Oh, Israel. That's the first thing they say. They don't say nothing else. So that just lets you know every time, like, God damn, the motherfucking Jews, these niggas rich already. These niggas got inheritance already. Their kids is straight. Their great kids is straight. And everybody still put them first. So, like, when we understand that, and like, I bet no side is fucking with us. Bet y'all all fuck with the Jews. Okay, we understand. Now let's figure this shit out for ourselves, man. Yeah, I'm emotional about this shit because people, they'll kill you about Jesus. They'll kill you about Muhammad. They'll kill you about Trump. They'll kill you about Kamala. Like, these people, we put these niggas so high that it's like, goddamn, like, we have religion wars. We're about to have presidential wars. Like, if we get reparations, what you think? We're going to have reparations wars. You're going to have the black niggas killing us for the ones who got the check. Like, let's be realistic, man. It's going to be niggas killing you for your check. It's going to be white people mad as fuck. Oh, nah, we're going to kill these niggas. They think they got a check. Like, it's so much things, man. And we so focused on, oh, Kamala, oh, Trump. Oh, like, come on, man. Let's just meet in the middle and say, how can we fix this shit for all of us? Not even only for black people, just for all of us, man. But, of course, blacks being, you know, we're going to be, that's the main thing we worried about. But the key is to stop this system for all of us, man. Where all our parents been fucking indoctrinated. If that shit goes down 10 generations, I understand it's a little hard to get out of the fucking like, you know, the repetition that been like, damn, if 10 of your grandparents force Jesus on you, yeah, for nigga like me come and tell you, yo, so the devil is red, right? Because they told you that, right? And Jesus is, and angels got wings, right? Because they told us that, right? Like, come on, man. They told us all of this shit. All of this shit is a lie. So why not just go out with a bang and let them know, yo, we know half of y'all motherfuckers is pedophiles. Half of y'all motherfuckers.
Oh, what happened? You still there? I don't know what happened. Feds got him? I have no idea what happened, bro. He just went blank after the pedophile. Jay's got him. Jedi got him, bro. I mean, I guess, bro. I guess. I don't know what happened. Very interesting. Very interesting. What, if y'all don't hit the like button, I swear, bro. There was something on my timeline that I saw. If y'all don't hit the like button, I was trying to start earlier today, but, you know. Life. Caller from NYC Def. Jay's got Jay's for him. Gotcha. Gotcha. Where was it? It was on Indisputable. Where was it? Apparently he debated. Oh my god. Why is Tatum so stupid? What makes Tatum so dumb is that he lacks self-awareness. That's what makes him peak retarded. No self-awareness.
Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bullpen. In the bullpen today, we have two former police officers who are part of the panel discussion today. One officer has gone on record to suggest that the officer who killed Sonia Massey was justified. The other officer is on record saying he was not. In my opinion, obviously, it is well known. I believe this cop committed murder. Now, I'm going to remind you of the video and provide the context. We'll get into our discussion. Here it is.
Gotcha.
The body camera video reveals the events leading up to the horrific scene.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes.
All right, let's skip all that. I don't want to see this again. This was
afraid. Still sitting. The pot is crossed. 2016 came by CB.
That when she lunged.
Here we go.
Taylor, Master Sergeant, United States Air Force, retired with over 20 years of experience. Also a retired Baltimore police officer.
Good.
And we have Officer Brandon Tatum, a former member of SWAT, CEO of 3 companies, and he is known for his YouTube channel talking about police conduct. Gentlemen, thank you both for being on the program.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. Officer Tatum, you have taken the position that this police officer is justified. I would like you to explain your position. Then I'm going to go to our other panelists for their opinion. What say you?
All right, so I want to make sure we're clear here. Justification is not, is he justified in the death of this young lady? Justification is the justified use of force. So I don't condone any of his actions before the shooting. I don't think that he's a great officer with great reputation, and I'm not supporting him whatsoever. I'm saying that the use of force when she lunged at the police officers with the pot, the use of deadly force was appropriate and justified in that particular instance.
What, say that again?
That when she lunged at the police officers with the pot of boiling water, that Grayson was justified in using deadly force against her.
Okay. So in your, I guess, estimation of what happened, she violently attacked the officer.
No, I didn't say she violently attacked the officer. She picked up the pot and she threw it in the direction of both officers. And out of fear of serious bodily injury, which is a part of the statute requirement, they can utilize deadly force to deter that threat.
Damn,
and that's what Grayson
crazy.
did in that instance. And that's why I believe it's justified.
You know, I could go back and forth with you. I'm going to allow our other panelists to opine on this because I'm sure he has something to say. Officer, what say you?
Well, it's interesting. You know, you can't legislate morality, that's for certain. But in all of this, I'm still trying to understand why they're inside the house. It makes no sense to me. If the original call was for a burglar or a suspected prowler, once they've ascertained that that's not the case, why do they need to go inside? They already know that she possibly has mental health issues. To my mind, to my way of thinking, once they established they've satisfied the requirements of the original call, you check on her, ask if she's all right. It's time to code the call to go back in service.
There's a dispute, obviously, of her malicious intent. I don't think there was any malicious intent whatsoever. I believe this woman was in fear of her life. I think she was being told very confusing things in a confused state. And she was then shot and killed. Officer Tatum, I want to go back to you and pose some questions that other cops have posed, similar to what you just heard. There's a white female cop who went on record pretty quickly in uniform and talked about how this officer in particular should have never been a cop, and then she gets into the conduct after this happened. Tatum, why did he lie to his colleagues?
You're
Why did
talking
he
about in the former incident?
Well, he's been
this
lying.
one, but
I'm not even talking about the other incidents where we know he lied on police reports, which is official misconduct, violation of oath of office, etc. I'm talking about this time. As soon as his colleagues arrived, he told a narrative of an aggressive, violent individual. As a matter of fact, he said she was a crazy B word. All right?
Damn.
That's unprofessional, naturally, but it goes to his state of mind, dear brother. In a court of law, that goes to state of mind. If you believe you're dealing with a crazy B word rather than a person experiencing either A, mental health crisis, or B,
crazy.
a possible victim of a
I can't
potential
believe they said
crime, it goes to your state of mind.
Well, I don't think that's going to end up being relevant in this case, but I do think it was reprehensible for someone to speak
Why don't
like
you
that.
think it's relevant in this case when it's already been deemed relevant? That's why
it's not going to be relevant. They indicted him, in my opinion, because they wanted to stop the riots from happening. They didn't want people to lose their mind over this shooting that was very emotional. In the court of law, this is going to be a self-defense argument. So Grayson is going to argue that he acted in self-defense, and that's the only thing that's going to be on the table. His
Why
previous
didn't his
behavior.
partner respond the same way then?
Well, I think well, first of all, their tactics were terrible. His partner was in a very difficult position to do anything. He almost shot Grayson in the back. So these cops had a lot of things that they did incorrectly, and their tactics were horrible. And I think that's why both of them didn't respond in the same manner. But I think this is going to be a self-defense argument. That's what I'm saying in the court. Not what I feel, not what anybody else thinks, not how horrible this was. It was sad to see the woman lose her life like that.
Of course, he's going to make a self-defense argument if he's pleading not guilty.
No, but that's going to be the argument. Is he's going to argue self-defense, and the prosecution is going to have to prove that he wasn't acting in self-defense beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, we know that.
I think that the burden of proof is not going to be they're not going to be sufficient in this, given the fact
that's
that
why we
she
have
threw the ball
fact
in
checkers
water.
called jury members. But let me get this correct. Tatum, you're saying that these cops did everything wrong. They broke protocol. They are bad cops. You don't agree with their actions. But the only thing they got right was killing that woman.
No, that's not what I'm saying whatsoever.
That's basically what you're saying.
I don't think
that's basically what you're saying. That, hey, they feared for their lives, and so they were justified in taking this woman's life. Like, they feared bodily harm. That's crazy. If they get away with this, we've got to go to Kamala, because she's likely to win the election, and be like, listen, you've got to make some executive order, something to change this. Hell, make an executive order, and then right, because now they can do the president can do damn near anything and be presumed for it to be constitutional. You have to prove it's unconstitutional. So I would expect her or someone to take advantage of the ruling that the Supreme Court just laid down. Still got Daniel Penny's trial coming up. Yeah, I remember.
Both cops did everything wrong. I think that Grayson did a lot of things wrong. I would have liked to have seen him de-escalate in that situation. I would have liked to have seen, him do a lot of things differently. Even after he shot her, I would like to see them at least give an attempt to render aid, even though they wasn't going to be able to properly render aid. But I think that being a bad cop doesn't mean that you're not justified in defending yourself against a person hurling boiling water. I think that's what it's going to end up coming down to.
Yeah, I didn't see a hurling of boiling water.
He did. I sent your staff the video that I did. I think we're sending over now. It's a video that I did where I put it in slow motion and I show the trajectory of the pod and the way the water went out and it hit a table. It hit like a chair and the floor. And so you can see that the water was hurled and propelled in their direction. And that's when he pulled the trigger and shot her. Listen, if she hadn't thrown that water,
he pulled his gun way before any boiling pot or anything like that. What are you talking about? He pulled his gun off of words. She didn't make any threat to him. Like, his gun should have never been pulled. There was no reason for you to disclose your firearm, much less discharge it. What are we talking about? This is crazy, bro.
These cops would, at least the Grayson would have not have been justified and he would have gotten charged correctly. But I think when she threw that water, he's going to have a justification in the necessity to use deadly force in his self-defense, the defense of himself.
I got to go to Officer Taylor. Officer Taylor, what say you to that?
Well, I understand the law and I understand self-defense. And, every day in this country, officers respond to these sort of calls. And I've never heard of hot water being used as a weapon that justifies the use of deadly force. To my way of thinking, they could have mitigated the whole thing. Number one, they didn't have to be inside the residence with her. That's number one. Number two, if they were going to be in the residence, you've got an officer primary and you got a backup officer. If you're so concerned about the possibility of a fire breaking out, and you have this woman who you've already established has mental issues, she's seated. Why not have your partner go and turn the pot off? If it's that big of a deal. Again, I still don't understand why they were both inside the residence asking for her ID.
I can explain
they're trying to run her for warrants or whatever.
I can explain that. I can explain that. I agree with you that when you look at it after the fact, there's some things that I wish that they would have done differently. But it wasn't unlawful to be in her house at the time of this incident. It seems that
he didn't say it was unlawful. Nobody said it was unlawful. He said why. There was no reason to be in the house. That's what he said. You see how he always goes back to the law? This is what I'm talking about, bruh. They will always go back to law. They will always go back to the interpretation of law, which they can always, it's malleable to them. It doesn't mean anything to them.
when they first engaged with her, it was a call the night before of her struggling with mental illness. That's why Officer Grayson, Deputy Grayson asked her, was she still struggling with mental illness, because she was kind of being erratic. So on a call
how is she being erratic? It's erratic, not erratic. But how is she being erratic? Do you see how they frame things in a way that's favorable to them? Well, this person was being erratic. Being hostile, aggressive. I fear for my life. I didn't know what they were capable of. I really didn't know.
Prowler call, you have the right to investigate the call and get information from the person who's calling.
Doesn't
so
mean
that
you have to go in their
rectify it,
house.
because she did seem like she was struggling from a mental illness encounter. She was also on the phone with another deputy. It seemed like they were trying to get her mental illness situation, I guess, put into check, which everything was going fine. They were having a reasonable conversation. They were laughing and joking. Even when she went to the stove, they kind of were joking before she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And so I think that's where the story.
And then what happens when she said that, Tatum? What happens? What happens? Do you care to discuss what happens once she said that harmless statement? Or are we just going to skip over that?
Every line is going to go in the court of law. They're going to say that everything was fine. Nobody was being intense. Nobody was violating laws. They were acting within the color of their authority. She didn't ask them to leave the house. She didn't say that she felt threatened by them at any point. And everything was fine until she got to the stove. And I'll just give an example of the stove situation. Looking back on it, I think they should have probably asked her. This is what I would have done if I was in a situation, because I don't want her to think I'm overstepping her bounds, and I do want to be cautious to her own living space. So I would have asked her, "Ma'am, would you mind if I turn your stove off, because it seems like it's going to catch on fire if we don't do something about it?" I do understand how an officer wouldn't want to overstep their bounds and try to start turning stuff off in her house and messing with her appliances. In a reasonable situation, if she'd have went over there and turned the fire off and went back to sit down, that's what everybody would have liked to have seen happen. But it didn't end up that way.
Officer Tatum, I'm going to respond to that, then go to our co-panelist. So the argument is interesting, the contrast between both of you. Because Tatum, you're basically arguing that this is within the statutory framework of law. Now, the reason why you're saying that's your argument. The argument that you're making is that this happened within the statutory framework of what is legally allowable, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here's the problem with that.
Crazy.
If you believe that laws equate to morality, dear brother, that means you would have to believe that when it was law that Black people could not sit where they wanted to sit on the bus, that law equated to morality. When Black people could not frequent establishments, could not have the freedom to assemble or the right and access to vote, that was law. That equated to morality. My point to you is, you do not judge, or at least for men like myself, I do not judge a statute or the framework of a judicial ruling in order to determine my morality and ethics as it comes when it comes to people. In addition to that, you're making an argument for the worst among us in policing, and you admit you did not like anything they did. You didn't like none of it. But brother, I hate to bring this home, man. Your mama living, Officer Tatum?
Huh?
Is your mama living?
Yeah, my mama alive.
My mother is not. If somebody did your mother that way in uniform, would you come on my show and defend them?
I'm not defending.
Yes, y'all do, brother. Come on, man.
As if,
would you say it was legal? Would you say it as such? I would. Oh my God. Would you say, well, you know what, the officer, he was justified?
You were saying like I'm defending it, like I'm defending this officer.
You're saying?
Exactly.
If this was your mother,
I would say the same thing.
This way.
I would say the same thing because I'm going off of what the law says.
That's
crazy.
I don't if they killed your mama?
If this officer shot my mother after she threw a pot of boiling water
going through a mental health episode, they did not follow protocol. They did not.
That's some nasty work, bruh. That's some nasty work, bruh. That's some nasty work. Oh my lord. He said, yeah, I would. Oh, that's some nasty work. My head hurts from that one. That's nasty, bruh. Nasty work.
Escalate, you will still come on television in order to debate that they or that cop was still legally in the right.
I'm only debating the law. I don't care for this cop. And
this man, bro, if it was slavery, he would want us enslaved. He would want us enslaved because it was the law. Holy hell, bro. No, we can't leave. What do you mean we can't leave? Bro, it's the law. We slave. We legally their property. What the what? I ain't going anywhere, bro. It's the law. Sir. What? That's what I'm talking about, bro. When you get people like this, like Harriet Tubman, bro, you can't save them all, bro. Some don't want to be saved.
I don't think that he did everything right. I think that he would have been probably worse off if he would have shot her the way they've been perpetuating it out in the news, that if she was just standing by the stove, she put her hands up and homeboy shot her because he thought she would throw a pot of boiling water. I mean, he would go to prison for the rest of his life. What I'm saying is that things begin to change when a person throws a pot of boiling water at him. I would have liked to see him do things differently. I would be very upset if that was my mom. I would have been very upset. I wouldn't have liked. I'm upset that this woman lost her life. I don't think that this should have resulted in that. But the law will dictate certain things when it comes to self-defense. And boiling water is a deadly weapon because a person can get seriously injured, dismembered. I mean, not dismembered, but get seriously injured and disfigured for life.
Sir, it's not considered a deadly weapon. It
is a deadly weapon. According to Illinois law, a boiling pot of water is a deadly weapon.
No, it's not considered. It's considered. No, sir. Look at the ruling, sir. It's not considered.
I know the ruling says, Dr. Ritchie, the ruling says that the water was the deadly weapon and deadly force was justified in that scenario. However, they are arguing that he put himself in a situation that should not necessitate a deadly force. Let me just give you an example.
Brother, let me do this.
Let me just give this quick example real quick.
Tatum, I'm going to let you give me the example, dear brother. But I want you to understand the difference between a deadly weapon, which is categorized by instrumentation, and the use of deadly force. The court made the distinction. You see, the device or the pot itself is not a deadly weapon. They talked about what the officer subjectively believed was the deadly weapon. That was the contextualization of the court, not the category of the pot or of the boiling water. To Officer Taylor, I want you to respond to Tatum, and then we'll go back for Tatum's example. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the law does provide for self-defense. For instance, in the case of an officer chasing an armed person, if that person is going to get to a position of cover and be able to return fire, and the officer is in the open, that officer is justified in shooting this person, okay? Because it's accepted that the officer, through no fault of their own, right, in the performance of their duty, is inadvertently placed in a position of severe disadvantage, right, which could result in severe injury or loss of life. That is mutually understood, it's universally understood. But also, saying that, it's also well known and universally accepted that if an officer is engaged in a gunfight with a person who places themselves in front of a group of citizens, to the extent that there's a possibility that if the officer returns fire, one of those citizens might be injured, then those are just rounds the officer has to eat. And this is basic. This is right out of the academy in Baltimore City, one of the most violent cities in the United States. It's known that if the person has a backdrop that's not safe, where the officer would take the risk of hitting someone, that officer's got to seek cover as best he can until the situation changes. This entire situation was manufactured. He manufactured these exigent circumstances, literally told the woman what he was going to do to her.
Yeah. And did it.
And then did it. I don't understand any of it. I don't understand what argument he has. I don't understand it at all. I would not want to go to court with this argument.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world I would want to do it. I think
Yeah, I saw the video of the guy punching the dude right in the face.
His partner was very uncomfortable. I think his partner was equally as confused. I mean, this is Derek Chauvin to the nth degree. This is crazy. This is madness.
Tatum?
So yeah, I just want to give the example. In the example that they're giving with this particular officer, they charge him with first-degree murder, which is intentional murder, and it's not going to hold up in court whatsoever.
He said, "I'll shoot you in your fucking head," and he ends up shooting her right in the head, and then said, "Don't get a health kit, right? Don't get a kit to try and see if they can save their life." He's like, "Nah, it's headshot. Leave it. Like, it is what it is." Like, that sounds like you had an intent to kill her. You killed her, and you did everything in your power not to try and save her life.
And I wish they would have charged him something a little more appropriate. The example that I was going to give was that...
Give me a more appropriate charge.
Manslaughter?
Well, I think he's going to be found innocent or not guilty because of the self-defense argument.
But you
because
said
the
you
initial
wish they would have charged him with something more appropriate.
Well, I'm saying at least be reasonable, right?
But
because
what appropriate charge are you referring to in your mind?
Okay, so there's two arguments here. I think he's going to be justified, but that doesn't mean he can't be charged because people do have concerns about his behavior. I think that something more of, they could have gotten it for manslaughter, maybe second-degree murder, if they want to push it that far, would have been more reasonable. To charge him with first-degree murder is a burden that they're not going to have any chance at proving.
They still have an opportunity to add lesser.
Yeah, they have to try to prove offenses. They have to try to prove premeditation, which is never going to happen in this case because everything was fine before she said, "I rebuke in the name of Jesus," while holding that pot of boiling water, which was the initial aggressive threat. Well, and so he...
Bruh, the spin. What? She wasn't holding any pot of water. The pot of water was on the stove. This is crazy. Do you see how they spin it, right? Now, all you have to do is get a fucking dumbass on the jury who's a bootlicker and be like, you know what? I can see how he can view it that way. All they have to do is try and convince a jury that, hey, this is how I perceived it. I perceived it that she had a boiling pot of hot water. She said, "I rebuke in the name of Jesus," which seems to be you use that as a threat, right? As Christians, you use that as a threat against someone who is doing something demonic. And her being this close to boiling hot water, I was going to take a chance. That's why I pulled my firearm and told her to get down on the ground or leave the boiling hot water alone.
It's a threat of deadly force against her.
Let me correct something that you said.
The
murder statute he's charged under, well, number one, lesser offenses can be added. I actually believe they will be. But the murder charge does not require premeditation in the sense that he went to the home in order to kill. It requires mens rea. And mens rea means that you knew or should have known that killing a woman who is ducking down on the floor in her home was a crime. You develop mens rea at that point, and that is the formation of charge. All right, go ahead, bro.
Well, that he would be guilty if that's what happened. We're all on the same page. If she crouched down and he just shot her because she had a pot next to her, he thought she was going to throw the pot, he would have had no chance in this case. But I think that when she picked the pot up for whatever reason, I still don't know why she would throw the pot at the guy.
Well,
yes, why would you throw a pot at someone who has a fucking firearm at you, pointed at you, when you did nothing to them? Why would you this is what I'm talking about. They just want you to die. Why are you trying to defend yourself? You're just supposed to die. Bruh, if someone has a gun pointed at me, I haven't done anything, I'm going to try and see if I can find something around me so I can defend myself. What are you talking about? How crazy is that? I want to see if he would do anything. Somebody pulled a gun on him, and you were within reaching distance of a boiling hot a pot of water or whatever, or a gun or a knife or something, would you go for it? I'm just curious. MP says, isn't this man a Christian? No. So rebuking someone in the name of Jesus is a threat? Lucas, ever since you stopped being Sandy the squirrel's friend, he's been going out extra sad. Bruh, he was going out bad when he defended the pedophile. I'll never forget that one. Y'all remember that one? Hold up. Y'all remember that one? Where the dude went into the women's restroom and was banging on his daughter's stall? Y'all don't remember that one? And he was like, nah, you should have waited and everything. I was like, no, fuck that. If somebody were to go into my the restroom and my daughter was in there, he was talking about, well, you don't know, they could have been trans or something. Bro, I swear to God, this is what he was telling me. He was defending a pedo. Crazy person went into this father's daughter's stall, right? Banging on the stall, shaking it, trying to get in. Excuse me. Daughter comes out, tells the daddy. Daddy finds the dude and beats his ass. Now, apparently, the dude fell or whatever. He got a concussion or something. And he winded up dying, right? Fucking freak accident. And he got charged, I believe, with 3 to 4 years. 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, bruh. He was defending that. He was like, no, you gotta call the police, leave it a bit. Bro, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Let me just say, I said the only issue is that he got caught on camera. You run up in my daughter's stall, bruh, trying to get into my daughter's stall, I'm gonna kill you. I have no problem in saying that. I'm gonna cause you physical harm. If you try, as a grown man trying to get into my daughter's stall, you're gonna have a bad time. That's what's going to happen. I'm gonna make sure that there are no cameras around, and you're gonna have a very, very bad fucking time. It's as simple as that. I don't want to hear. Then he tried to say, well, he wasn't really, good brain. He didn't have a good brain. I don't give a fuck what you have. I'm sorry. You try to mess with my daughter, my little child, little girl, yeah, that's gonna be the end of you. You're not gonna have to worry about any mental health issues because that's gonna be your last mental health issue. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. I already knew he was cooked. I was like, what? I knew he was cooked back then, bro. I knew he was cooked. He was fried in the fucking head. Fried in the head, bro. Because that was just wild hearing someone say that.
But she picked the pot up and threw it, and then when he shot her, he used deadly force against her.
You do know that his knowledge of the mental health crisis is going to be front and center in the prosecution.
That doesn't preclude him from defending himself.
Just give me a moment. What it does is
he's the one that drew the gun at her. He drawed his gun after her saying, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How on God's green earth are you then going to be like, well, I fear for my life, after you're the one that drew the gun on her for no reason whatsoever? You put yourself in this position.
Sets a parameter of protocols that must be followed in order to protect life.
But it also justifies...
If you decide to not follow those protocols, you have willfully engaged in the violation of those protocols.
It also lends to the fact of her being very unstable and making that furtive action without any kind of signs or anything before that. So
that's not true.
That is because true. When he said she was crazy. No. When he said she was crazy, that sound bad.
Melvin Harris. Oh, we got 8 years. There we go.
Because she may have been going through a psychotic episode, and I don't know what
that's the point.
They're going to make that point in the court of law.
That's crazy. Brother, that's not crazy, brother.
For somebody to be talking normal and you engaging in a normal conversation.
You don't talk normal. The hell you talking about? Tatum, you're crazy, Tatum. She was sick. She was going through a mental health crisis. She needed a doctor, brother.
Which is
you
fine.
are crazy. You sound crazy. You always do.
No,
all right, brother. Let me go. Let me go, dog. I said I wasn't going to do this. I said,
let's have a real conversation. Let's have a real conversation.
Negro, you said that you would defend the cop killing your mama.
He said, Negro, you said you would defend the cop killing your mama.
Mama, I should have kicked you off the damn show.
Nothing about.
I should have kicked you off the damn show then. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see, right? He was cool, right? He was cool, calm, and collected. Bro, you get these people and they just get under your skin by saying stupid shit, bruh. Just crazy shit. Like, he said, that's exactly what he said. You defended a cop killing your mama, talking about, well, it would be legal for him to kill my mama. He said he would be saying the same damn thing if it was his mama. Like, do you see how you could just be like, nigga, what? What you talking about?
I said I wasn't gonna do this. I said,
let's have a real conversation.
And then him say, well, let's have a real conversation. Let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this.
Have a real conversation.
Negro, you said that you would defend the cop killing your mama. I should have kicked you off the damn show.
I didn't say nothing about defending a cop killing my mama. I said it's a self-defense argument that he has a self-defense argument in the court of law. That's not defending somebody who can. You're getting emotional and taking it personal.
Damn right,
I don't know.
Bruh, you're saying that you see why it's self-defense. You're not even presenting any type of rebuttal or anything against that. You're just like, nah, I see how it is. It is what it is.
Either one of these people. I'm just telling you what the law says.
No, you're wrong
we'll
about
see when it goes to trial.
You're wrong about
when it goes to trial.
Bruh, if it goes to trial and this man gets off, we got to move somewhere else, bro.
About the law? All right, so, brother, if you would, what's your response, Tatum? I'm running out of time.
I'm over here dying, literally. I mean, I know what the law says. I know about self-defense, okay? I've been in bad situations myself, but I also understand that you can't ask the question, are you okay? Are you having an episode? Okay, and then place the woman. Literally, he placed the weapon in the woman's hand, if it was a weapon. He placed the weapon in the woman's hand.
You just said it right there.
Did.
Is
and
it a
I'm
weapon
not sure,
or is it not a weapon?
I am not sure who had the mental break, because she comes off very reasonable compared to whatever episode he was going through in his head. I've never heard of anybody tell someone what they're going to do to them. Okay, take the uniform off of it. Take the uniform off, because he shouldn't have had it on the first damn place.
We can argue that.
If somebody says to you, Tatum, don't throw this at me, I'm going to shoot you in your effing face. Okay, I mean, hey, that's going to put you in a state of fear.
No, well, kind of, sort of, right? I mean, if
kind of, sort of. The officer said, "I'm going to shoot you in your effing head." And you're saying that kind of sort of puts the other person in a state of fear?
If I got a pot and I'm gonna throw it on you, and you pull a gun on me and say I'm gonna shoot you in the face, and
she wasn't gonna throw any pot at him. There was no pot involved upon him taking out his firearm. What are we talking about? This is crazy, bro.
And I let the pot go because I realized this guy's gonna shoot me if I throw this pot at him. And she put her hands up.
No, let me put it like this, okay? No.
She put her hands up.
No.
It was over.
I am not shooting the woman.
Why did she throw the pot? No, I wouldn't either.
Because I don't want to get scolded. Okay.
But
that's crazy.
If she throws the pot of boiling water on you, you could potentially die from 3rd-degree burns. You would be seriously.
We got, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. I don't know what to say. What do you say to this? This is cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs.
Dismembered or disfigured.
I'm not getting that close.
Permanently, you could be permanently blind.
I'm not getting that close.
It's not about close.
Martians could come down and take me to the moon or whatever. That could happen too.
we can say whatever we want to say and what we should have, would have, could have did. I agree with you. There's things that I believe I would have done differently. But when he points the gun at her, she puts her hands up. She goes down to the ground. She is no longer a threat initially because she's no longer a threat to them with the pot. So
she wasn't a threat to begin with. That's the whole point, Tatum. She wasn't a threat upon him taking out his firearm. She was no threat whatsoever.
Move in to see what she's doing. Maybe she's giving up.
Still telling her.
But they're warning her because they're warning her because she did exactly what they were afraid of that she was going to do. They're saying, "You put the pot down. Don't touch the pot." They get closer to her. She gave up.
I got you. I'm getting the rap. I'm getting the rap.
They're going to prove that she intended to throw the pot the whole time.
Look, Tatum, like you said, you getting
emotional.
That's
crazy.
I'm not getting emotional. I'm just telling you the truth.
I want to make sure we say this for the record. Mental health crisis, people experiencing them, it is a very delicate situation. And once that officer, and I, brother, I believe you, Taylor, that part is going to be important because he said it and it's on camera. He said it. He knew, he had knowledge.
Crazy.
This is probably a mental health crisis.
It's a matter of record.
That's right. It's a matter of record now. And I think that knowledge going into that situation and him still deciding to kill her rather than value her life
very interesting.
And say what needed to be done was a mental health response.
The man decided that her life was not worth him getting scalded for.
This is what they were doing.
Or just walking away, just going outside.
This is what they were doing before the pot situation. They were on the phone with her. They were trying to get her the resources she needed.
There was no pot situation.
Before the pot. This is why in court is going to be a very different argument.
Well, we shall see, dear brother. You've been wrong. You've been wrong a whole lot.
I ain't never been wrong. What situation I've been wrong about?
Tatum.
But you're wrong today.
You say I'm wrong today. We will see. This is
all right. I gotta go.
Definitely wrong today.
I gotta go. Thank you both for being on the show. Tatum, it is what it is, brother. Officer, I appreciate you, Officer Taylor, for all you do.
Lordy. 979, you're on the line. What's the disagreement?
How are you doing, Lucas?
I'm doing.
Yeah, I watched the entire video. Fuck Brandon Tatum. I'm unsubscribing to him. He's a fucking cunt. You're familiar with the police's message in the bottle? Sending out an SOS. He's got an SOS on him now. Sorry. You need to calm down. I'm fucking pissed off. As far as Brexit goes, how did you meet Brandon and God, I forgot her name.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up? Lucas.
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah.
So did you hear anything I said?
Yeah, heard it all.
All right, so how did you meet Brandon Tantrum and
who, Owens?
God,
yeah, that was
Candace Owens.
Brexit thing.
And yes, y'all are all part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Brandon Tantrum is retarded. I'm just saying.
Don't disagree.
Cool. So I'm unsubscribing to his channel. He's a loser, And SOS.
Well, appreciate the call. Yeah, I think this was wild. Not gonna lie. 317. What's the disagreement?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Lucas. I don't have a disagreement. I have an agreement with you. You were talking last week about pride.
Uh-huh.
And I remember my mom always told me that as Black people, we search and seek pride, but with white people, they seek and possess power. And if we would go more of that route, we wouldn't have so many problems that we do today. Like staying in prison because you don't want to get out on a lie because of your pride. I just think is ridiculous. I mean, I understand if you're trying to sue the state or something, but I feel that sometimes we get too proud over things like Kamala Harris isn't, black enough. She's not proud enough of her heritage. It's like, I think that she's proud of it just as fine as anybody else is. But that was my agreement with you.
All right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the call. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that's why we're in this predicament anyway, when it comes to illegal immigration. A 100%. So. There we go. There we go. Women no longer banned? Yeah, women are no longer banned. Oh, man. It's just, wild stuff, man. Wild stuff, bro. What a time to be alive. You guys, people scared to call into the show. It is what it is, bro. Texas court dilutes black voting power. What happened with Texas court? What happened with Texas court? Oh my God, why does he have all these streams, bro? Roland Martin has like a freaking 2-hour stream. What happened? Court cripples voting act. Has anyone heard about this?
Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about everyone's favorite circuit, the Fifth Circuit, and their very controversial new decision jettisoning years of precedent and holding that Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, the small vestige that still remains after the Supreme Court has hacked away at the Voting Rights Act, may not be used in a situation where you are combining the numbers of two different minorities, in this case, blacks and Hispanics. All right, that's a little bit of a mouthful, I know. Let me double back and explain.
What happened?
The Voting Rights Act passed in the 60s, maybe the high water mark.
Didn't you say you make a video based on Defiant Laura's video? Yes,
other
I
things,
did.
It gave the Department of Justice very strong
I didn't get a chance today. Life, and then I was binge watching the Batman Cape Crusader, which I don't think that was good. Maybe I'm crazy, bro. Maybe it was really good. I don't think it was good. Did anyone else watch the Cape Crusader? Because I binge watched it. Not gonna lie. I got up in like, 6 in the morning? All the way until like afternoon. I was just like, this really isn't good. The changes they made just weren't, they weren't necessary. So I'm just like, okay. I don't know. I didn't like Penguin. I thought that was whack. Scarface. Not Scarface, Clayface. I don't think that was Clayface. It wasn't Clayface, right? Was it? Oh, I think it was Clayface. I don't know. I think Batman the Animated Series just did it all better. It just felt like there was no heart in it. That's what it felt like. It felt like there was no heart in it. Anyways.
Power to go after states who had a history of discriminating on the basis of race. And the Supreme Court just eviscerated it, just wrote it out a term or two ago, saying we are no longer, this assumption of bad conduct based on what they've done in the past is no longer viable. Bye Section 5. And that leaves essentially only Section 2, which the court has said still does apply, and that applies when you intentionally racially gerrymander. So you take a state with 40% African Americans, say, and you very carefully draw the lines so that every single district has only a minority of minorities, and therefore you're unlikely to elect a minority member of Congress. The court has said, no, that kind of racial gerrymandering doesn't fly. You need to construct maps that give a district or two, or close to anyway, the actual proportion of percentage in the state of the minority group. So a classic one would be, one other point, the court has said that it won't really actually look at gerrymandering claims. So the Section 2 enforcement mechanism is much weakened. But essentially,
why?
You have a state. It's got, say, 30% African Americans, and you're going to be dividing it into 5 congressional districts. That's just arbitrary. It's based on population. Basically, you better be sure that 1 or 2 of them, that you don't draw the line so carefully that you've ensured that there's no such thing as a, quote, majority minority district. That is to say, a district, a specific geographic area that elects a member of Congress that is majority minority. Now, often states have responded by drawing ridiculous, exquisite shapes, but almost all minorities or African Americans are sort of housed in this crazily drawn district. But the court says that's okay if you're not specifically trying to disenfranchise minority groups. The question,
what do you mean specifically trying to disenfranchise minority groups?
Is
how do you
if a majority, it's the Republicans here have taken tremendous advantage of winning or kind of maneuvering.
It's okay as long as you're specifically not trying to do that. Well, who's going to admit to specifically trying to do that?
Politically gerrymandered state maps, all in all, but here's a place where they can't go too far. That is to say, where race is concerned. Okay, but what about if you do, as in fact they did in Texas, draw a map where a lot of Hispanics are in one district, but they're still outnumbered. A lot of African Americans are in another, but they are still outnumbered. So in this case, a coalition of Black and Hispanic voters sued under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act and said, we have been, dismissed, or we have been effectively gerrymandered out. So it raises the question, does Section 2 recognize a claim based on a coalition of or a combination of more than one minority group? Okay, that's a pretty complicated legal question to state it and to set it up, but not to decide it, because in the Fifth Circuit, the law was very clear that the answer is yes. You may not, that you can have a challenge where different minority groups come together and a majority can't gerrymander them away. So that's exactly what happened here. The Galveston County Commissioner's Court had a new districting plan just for county commissioner elections in Galveston County, and it eliminated the only majority minority precinct, which they'd had for some 30 years, because what they did was take a precinct where that it was a majority of minority voters, Blacks and Hispanics, but redraw the map so the Black citizens were here, the Hispanics were there, and there's no majority district of minorities. So they sued. To take a step back, the Fifth Circuit, and I was a little bit flip at the beginning, but it is the circuit that was spanked repeatedly by the Supreme Court this term, and that is really, even by the measure of the Supreme Court and the courts today, really a out there, outlying circuit that is very conservative, even cuckoo. Okay. So that's where we are, the trial court, but the Fifth Circuit had already held in a case called Baytown in 1988, you can do this. And many other circuits have had similar holdings. So when they brought this claim, the district court said, yes, you can do it. And then when it went up to the appellate court, the Fifth Circuit, a panel of 3 judges said, yes, you can do it. But then it was taken en banc by a majority of the judges, and basically in essential party line, all of the dissenters are appointed by Democratic presidents here, and it's a very bitter dissent, and the majority is written by Edith Jones, who is a long-time notorious judge, very, very conservative and known to be activist. Okay, she writes an opinion that basically overrules the old one, and she it purports to be based on plain language. What's that plain language? Well, there is a section of the Voting Rights Act, and Section 2 says you can't do a sort of drawing of districts in a way that results in a denial or abridgment of the right of any citizen of the United States. And she says, look, that doesn't, you can't combine citizens there. You either African American voters have been abridged or Hispanic voters, but you don't put them together. And so far, you understand what she's saying, and then you come to the dissent where 5 judges of the Fifth Circuit, all Democratic appointees, and they really beat up on her badly. They show that the legislative history was such that the Congress had, as I said, in 1988, the Fifth Circuit, among many circuits, had said you can do this, and there's legislative history where it's clear that Congress has accepted that you can do this. Now, Joe says, oh, we don't do legislative history stuff here, but they have the language as well, and they have really very strong, they're separate dissents, but then the sort of 5-person dissent says, today the majority finally dismantled the effectiveness of the Voting Rights Act in this circuit, leaving 4 decades of en banc precedent, that's what I was telling you about the 1988 case, flattened in its wake, and it is atextual and ahistorical, and essentially to the statutory term of person, the dissenting judges talk about the language in the Voting Rights Act about classes of voters, and classes of voters easily encompasses more than one racial group, and moreover, it's there's a little bit of a split. I believe the Sixth Circuit has maybe gone the other way, but essentially there's just quite a lot of precedent, especially in the Sixth Circuit. As I said, the Baytown case really expressed, of course, a en banc court can overrule, but a strong statutory argument based on classes of citizens rather than the language that the Judge Jones and the majority point to of a single voter. So this is a big deal. It essentially takes away one of the very few remaining vestiges of a viable attack under the Voting Rights Act. The most important by far was Section 5, but Section 2 has still remained for the most rank, crazy, exotic map drawing that disenfranchises minority voters, and the law
how's the Mexican Asian life
Circuit and elsewhere around the country has been that you can combine different minority groups probably now this is a issue that goes up to the Supreme Court. It seems pretty clear there's a circuit split and a very bitter kind of back and forth in this opinion. And of course, if it does, if you're a betting person based on what they did with Section 5 and have done with voting rights in general, you would not be very sanguine about their staying the course on the what is the prevailing rule now, that you can combine minority groups. If it goes to the Supreme Court, the betting line would be that they will take the position of the Fifth Circuit and say you can do this as long as.
All right, how did
Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen.
Because that seems crazy. Why I not have mouse? Where is my mouse? Bro, my mouse disappeared from the screen. There we go. I want to see what Roland Martin had to say about it. Texas court voting rights. He had a long ass stream about it. Combating. Not watching all that, bro. That's crazy. Shower, rolling cerebral hosts. Showed you exactly. Rolling. I thought I saw him. Texas Supreme Court, Texas Voting Rights Act. Didn't it just happen today? There we go. Dilutes black voting.
Rights continue to be attacked in this country. Now the Fifth Circuit has issued a ruling that could further hurt the Voting Rights Act. We will explain also on today's will make it more challenging for black and Hispanic voters to collaborate in forming voting coalitions in 3 southern states, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. This decision will significantly...
That's where the majority of black people are. That's fucking crazy. Majority of where black people are? Okay.
Impact the redrawing of voting districts, making it more difficult for minority voters to elect candidates representing their interests. The case, which originated from redrawing district lines in Texas's Galveston County, resulted in the dissolution of the only coalition district in the county, leading to a legal battle involving the Justice Department and voters. The Fifth Circuit ruled 12-6 against the language in Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Generally right now, Michael Imhotep hosts the African History Network show. Matt Manning, civil rights attorney out of Corpus Christi. Dr. Avis Jones-DeWeaver, political analyst. I'm glad to have all three of you here. Matt, I'll start with you. Here's the deal. The Fifth Circuit, Matt, you know quite well, extremely conservative. It's packed and loaded with conservatives. They have been attacking Section 2. What you have here, of course, with the decision in the Holder decision, Shelby v. Holder, that decision attacked Section 4. Clarence Thomas has always wanted to get rid of the Voting Rights Act completely. And so we're still seeing how conservatives, they want to get rid of the Voting Rights Act because they want to stop black and Latino folks from being able to maximize their voting power.
His voice is like shot.
That's precisely what it is. There's no question. And, you know, it's difficult for me to speak as candidly as I'd like to because I have 2 cases currently pending in front of the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals on which I submitted briefs in the last couple of weeks. So I should probably be a little tactful in what I'll say. I will say this directly. I think that the logic here is absolutely missing. This is meritless, as the court might say. And the reason is, the logic is if you have 2 discrete ethnic groups that are saying that, look, our voting rights are being eroded, the notion that the 2 of them cannot get together to vindicate their rights under the Voting Rights Act because the court found that it wasn't explicitly provided for by the statute is absurd. In fact, you would think the opposite would be true. This would be an instance where the court would say the fact that there are discrete harms that are being alleged by 2 individual ethnic groups under the Voting Rights Act should be given greater credence. The idea that it's an impact that is affecting 2 groups should make it such that the court sees the import of this case that much more. However, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, as we know, is by far the most conservative in the country. And unfortunately, this is yet another opinion in a string of recent opinions that has, one, not been upheld by the Supreme Court. So hopefully, if this is appealed, that will not happen, that the Supreme Court will allow this to stand. But secondly, this is more ideological than it is anything else. And really the logic that the statute does not expressly allow it, therefore we're going to say that it shouldn't carry the day here, is
qualified immunity.
Because that's what they do every single time in civil rights cases when they apply qualified immunity, which is not expressly
That's exactly what I was saying. Exactly.
In the statute. So what's good for the goose
That's
has to be good for the gander, and that logic needs to extend across the board. And I suspect that that will not be extended in other instances where judge-made defenses like qualified immunity are being applied despite not being in the statute. So I don't think the logic tracks here. I think civil rights advocates are definitely right to be angry about this opinion, and I'm hoping if it does go to the Supreme Court will recognize that this is not a sound legal opinion and will send it back, overturning the Fifth Circuit.
Well, Michael, you and I don't have to be as discreet as Matt is. The bottom line is this here. These conservative federal judges are not following the law. They're legislating from the bench. They're pushing an ideological position, and that's what boils down to. They have been angry that black voters, when you look at the numbers, turn out at a higher rate in 2008 with President Barack Obama than any other time in history. And what we have seen since the election of Obama in 2008, we've seen a constant and vicious attack on voting rights in this country. This is the agenda of the Republican Party. This is what
Got you. That's all I needed. All right. Damn, that's fucking crazy. Anyways, I think that's gonna be the stream. Lordy. So much going on. We'll have a panel tomorrow, and then game in on Sunday. Actually, we may game right now, to be honest with you. I may have some Marvel Rivals over on the animation channel. But that's gonna be it for right now. Everyone, take care, stay safe. Thank you for all the support, the super chats. Appreciate them greatly. Lordy. Adios, muchachos.